Welcome back to the channel, everyone. As we navigate through 2023, the electronic music landscape continues to evolve, drawing inspiration from the underground movements and resonating with the broader audience. So today we're diving into these pivotal moments, my personal top 10 music trends in 2023. Mind you, this is not a roadmap to mimic, rather a source of inspiration, understanding the nuances and directions music has taken recently. While some of these shifts have simmered beneath the surface for years, only to recently burst into the mainstream, it's essential to note that this isn't an exhaustive list of every trailblazing artist or label. Instead, this is a spotlight on the patterns and innovations I've observed. So without further ado, let's embark on this auditory journey.
LFO applied on our cutoff. Increase the rate modulation somewhere here.
Decelerating plucks. In the last couple of years, the ambient corridors of melodic techno and house have been reverberating with a unique vibe of decelerating plucks. Even drum and bass hasn't remained untouched by this emerging trend. And here's how it works. Start with a fast LFO and gradually dial it down. While it may sound simple, there's an art to making sure the final note just sits right. Although the frequent use of this technique can seem a tad gimmicky, the real excitement lies in seeing where innovative producers will take this next. Mercurial Tones Academy did a good tutorial on this, and if I can find it, I'll leave it down in the links below. Simple note basslines. Drum and bass producer Hedix epitomizes the beauty of simplicity in basslines. It's a poignant reminder that sometimes all it takes to make an impact is a single, powerful note. There's an understated elegance in such minimalism that speaks volumes. As producers, sometimes we overthink it when all we have to do is simplify the process and do what works. Notice the simple bass line in Hedix's remix of Talking the Hardest by Gigs. Jungle switch-ups. Recently, tracks like Boo's remix of Spartans are redefining crowd engagement. Just when you think you've figured out the rhythm, there's a jungle switch-up, heightening the anticipation, and then a satisfying plunge into a powerful bass groove. It's all about the unexpected energy surge. In this type of switch up, the jungle is going full maximalism, which then drops down into something more simplified. It's almost like an anti-drop. And a lot of producers have been using this to much effect recently. Belgian lasers and frog basses. Echoing from the past few years, the emergence of Belgian laser sounds and frogs is a testament to the evolving soundscape of drum and bass music. Recently, producers like Amplify, Latte, and DJ Premium have been putting them into the spotlight. Shifting the focus from conventional melodies, these sounds create a rhythmic call and response, forming an intoxicating blend of gritty, rhythmic patterns. In this style, it's all about cleverly sequencing the bass sounds to create that call and response and rhythm. It's less about melody and more about a cool pattern. The 4/4 rhythm in drum and bass. Though the 4/4 kick rhythm in drum and bass isn't exactly new, artists like Dimension have breathed fresh life into it. At 170 beats per minute, it lends a pulsating energy reminiscent of yesteryears but with a contemporary twist. The lines between techno and drum and bass have been blurred recently with tracks like Dimension's Offender. The 4/4 kick brings a fun energy to the 170 BPM range. I look forward to seeing its evolution. The resurgence of Eurodance. The 90s are calling, and they've brought back Eurodance with remixes of iconic tracks like Robert Miles' Children and artists like Calvin Harris and Eli Golding championing its return. There's a nostalgic charm in the air. The signature booty kicks and galloping bass rhythms are making a comeback. It's fascinating to witness a childhood favorite trend re-emerge with such a vigor.
Forbidden feelings, so why you do it? Can't face my feelings, needing a healing, needing a healing.
Jungle. The past 2-3 years have seen a revival of raw breakbeats, the lure of underproduction. People like Naya Archives and Pink Panthers are introducing these nostalgic sounds while giving the pop Gen Z vibe to a newer audience. Tracks like Forbidden Flows encapsulates this return to the organic, unrefined sounds that resonate deeply with the roots of this genre. And of course, for the real jungle heads, there are way too many names to mention, but people in the forefront include Sherelle, Tim Reaper, Coco Bryce, and labels like Traxhaven that have been pushing this sound and genre. Not to mention labels like Hardcore Energy have been bringing the hardcore jungle techno sound to new audiences. And on the topic of modern drum and bass and jungle, wanted to tell you about a new pack we've been working on with the legendary drum and bass producer DJ Crystl. He's done a lot of pioneering work during the early era of drum and bass, and he's making an awesome comeback recently. The pack is called Fragments, which is a direct download of sounds from DJ Crystl's mind. The pack isn't out yet, but stay posted. However, if you want to learn more, you can check our landing page down in the links below. But just to give you a preview of the sounds in this pack, here's some of the breaks that he meticulously created with breaks and layers and single hits to create brand new breaks. And he's ran these breaks on a personal processing chain, which takes these breaks to another level. They sound super crisp, warm, and analog. Here's the Apache break he did. Here's some bass sequences in the pack. Super angry, and these sounds are a nod to the noughties era, which is around the late 90s to early 2000s. The Blue Note Metalhead's Night was an inspiration as well. What he's trying to do is take drum and bass, those golden era sounds, and take it to the next level by modernizing it. Here's some more bass sounds. He's got some really lush atmospheric loops. Some are a bit dark and eerie, and some are full and warm. When I spoke to Crystl, the idea behind these pads were to create a cinematic vibe, futuristic and apocalyptic at times. Finally, here's some melodic loops. I can almost hear this on like a Nicki Minaj record or even a Trippie Redd trap track. Imagine that over some hip hop drums. So take these sounds to the next level. Even if you don't make drum and bass, I think you can find use to these sounds. So a wide variety of sounds from breaks, top loops, bass sounds, pads, atmospherics, stabs, melodics, and so much more. Learn more about DJ Crystl's Fragments down in the links below. Jersey Club. The infectious rhythm of Jersey Club offers a delightful twist on the regular 4/4 kick pattern. And it seems like everyone in the mainstream have been utilizing this rhythm, from the likes of Lil Uzi Vert, Bad Bunny, Drake, and K-pop group New Jeans. The Jersey kick rhythm has an additional fifth kick in it, which adds an element of funkiness that's irresistibly catchy, especially when paired with a deep 808 bass. Check the pioneers of this sound, including DJ Tamil, Unique 3, and DJ Slink.
Too hard, too
FM and lo-fi wubs. In a space dominated by distorted, overpowering wubs, artists like Crystl and Zed's Death are recently bringing back the more subtler sounds to the mainstream sounds of electronic music. It's a refreshing shift towards appreciating the finer details, away from the overwhelming cacophony. Use low-pass filters or simple FM synthesis to create these sounds. You can check out my basics on FM synthesis using Ableton's operator here.
I'm losing it.
Tech house. While tech house has always had a presence, artists like James Hype and Fisher have further propelled its popularity to the mainstream. Characterized by its straightforward beat, restrained bass, and selective use of notes or samples, it's a genre that doesn't try too hard, yet leaves a lasting impression. I have to admit, after listening to thousands of tech house songs over the years, after a while, the bottom end all sounds generally the same because it's usually that 4/4 kick and a similar bass pattern. But it's the top end, such as the synth notes, vocal chops, that really define a track. UK Garage. Artists such as The Weeknd, New Jeans, and many other pop productions are a testament to the enduring allure of the UK garage drum pattern. It's heartening to witness this distinctive rhythm find its way into the mainstream productions, bringing UK garage sound to new audiences worldwide. The secret to the UK garage rhythm is to use a hard swing instead of a robotic grid. You can learn more about the UK garage in my tutorial up here. As we wrap up our exploration of 2023's electronic music trends, it becomes clear that music, as always, is an ever-evolving art form. From the subtle undercurrents of underground sounds to the dominant waves making their presence felt in the mainstream, these trends serve as a testament to the dynamism and diversity of the genre. Whether you're an artist, a producer, or a passionate listener, there's much to glean from these shifts: inspiration, knowledge, or simple enjoyment. Thank you again for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. And if you're a music producer and you want to support, I have a number of preset packs, sample packs, and Ableton kits to help you along your journey. You can find them down in the links below. Remember, it's not just about following the trends, but about recognizing them, understanding their roots, and seeing where they might lead us next. Until our next sonic adventure, stay curious and keep exploring.